So the world's first COVID-19 vaccine has been administered to a 90-year-old woman in the UK. And hey, she's definitely at risk. And if she wants to put up with what I've been hearing right now is that there's like a 3-day window where it feels like you have the coof, but you don't. And then 3 weeks later, you have to go through the exact same procedure again because it's a 2-stage vaccination process apparently right now. So hey, you know what? It's feeling like shit for 6 days out of 3 weeks is probably a little bit better than dropping dead if you're 90 years old. If you're 90 years old. And you know what? That's happening in the UK. But we can't say the same for what's going to be happening in Canada because Dr. Tam, our Dr. Fauci, this fucking bitch can barely speak English. But whatever, I'm sure she has some dirt on Justin Trudeau, like maybe he likes girls or something. I don't know, something that would be very detrimental to his public persona. The first COVID vaccine shots won't be available or won't be delivered to long-term care facilities, so the people who need it the most won't be able to get it. That seems a little bit stupid, but let's see her rationale on this. Dr. Theresa Tam, Canada's chief public health officer, announced on Tuesday that the first Pfizer vaccines will be distributed only to people who can be physically present at 14 delivery sites. Okay, so, instead of going to where people need them, you got to come to us in order to create more of a rush and a panic, and it doesn't make any sense. But you know what? She's the top doctor. You just got to follow the science when it comes to this shit, right? Tam acknowledges this will likely result in long-term care residents not being the first to receive the vaccines as they cannot easily travel to distribution sites. So why don't you just set them up in old folks' homes? Some of them, not all of them, because you don't want to drag those paranoid cocksuckers into the long-term care facilities, now would you? Long-term care residents, along with medical professionals, are supposed to be among the first to receive the vaccine due to the high risk of mortality for the former and high level of contact for the latter. The distribution policy change will likely add more confusion to the vaccine's rollout in Canada, as federal governments have reportedly offered contradictory schedules regarding vaccine rollout and distribution, commenting on the planned executive order by the United States President Donald Trump to prioritize Americans in vaccine distribution. As we covered, I think it was yesterday, but regardless, he's got America first on the mind, and most of the Pfizer vaccines are going to be staying within the borders. And apparently Justin Trudeau sent out a call for 249,000, but let's see here. Intergovernmental Affairs Minister Dominic LeBlanc said he was in action not to affect Canada's acquisition and distribution of vaccines. Okay, yeah, because it's like 250,000. You need 2 shots of it, so you're going to need more in 3 weeks' time anyways. But yeah, it seems a little bit sus to me if you fucking think about it, honestly. 249,000. Okay, even if you slice that in half, that's 125,000 people, and that would be what, every fucking healthcare official in a bunch of large centers. Okay, that would make sense, but at the same time, you're telling us you can still transmit the disease even if you're asymptomatic, and that's highly contestable information. But whatever, right? You just got to trust the science. Yeah, fucking jackasses. But now that we got the UK and we got Canada out of the way, how about we talk about everybody's favorite marionette doll, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Fauci skips a Donald Trump coronavirus vaccine event, but as you can see in that picture right there, he could make it to an Office of the President-elect event. How about that? Isn't that a little funny? Dr. Anthony Fauci skipped President Donald Trump's event celebrating the development of the coronavirus vaccine on Tuesday. Wouldn't you think somebody who is very important in the coronavirus task force be there for, the announcement and the rollout of the vaccines? I don't know. I'm not in charge. A Trump administration official told Breitbart News on Monday that Fauci wanted to attend the event, but it would not do so to a schedule conflict. The long-term director of a National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and somebody with a very long history of unethical practices. I've done a video on the history of Anthony Fauci. He's most notably known for researching AIDS and being less than ethical with his practices. Several public health officials did attend Trump's event at the White House, including White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator Ambassador. Could the bitch have a longer fucking title? Deborah Birx, medical doctor, director of Center of Disease Control, Dr. Robert Redfield, the father of Chris, Chief Advisor of Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Moncrief Saliu, and Director of Center of Biologics Evaluation and Research, Dr. Peter Marks. Fauci made a point, however, of sending a pre-recorded video to a press conference with former Vice President Joe Biden instead, thanking him for appointing him as an advisor on fighting the coronavirus pandemic for a post he probably will never get to fulfill. Who knows how that Texas lawsuit is going to shake out? Anyways, speaking of Fauci, that was enough of the hypocrisy for him today. So, Fauci failing up while botching science and undermining U.S. allies. Joe Biden likes Dr. Anthony Fauci's lockdown advice so much he has tapped him for chief medical advisor, as you've seen referenced there in that previous Breitbart article, so we got to expand on that guy a little bit. Democrats spending 2020 insisting President Trump's COVID guidance, although clearly influenced by Fauci, contradicted science and hurt the nation without offering any sort of solution. They just were like, Orange Man doing a bad job. What would you do about it? Better than Orange Man. Fucking stupid. And the same day, Fauci reversed himself on safety of the COVID vaccine being developed, apologizing for making false statements about the U.S. allies' work in partnership with the Trump administration to save countless lives through cutting-edge medical research. Oh, what a fucking dick. A fence-sitting cocksucker. Axios reported, I have a great deal of confidence in what the UK does both scientifically and from a regulatory standpoint. Of course you do, Dr. Anthony Fauci told the BBC on Thursday after saying earlier in the day that the UK regulators rushed their approval of the vaccines. What a shithead. For COVID from Pfizer and BioNTech. The day before, the United Kingdom had become the first nation to grant emergency approval to one of the three reportedly highly effective vaccines that have been developed in conjunction with massive U.S. taxpayer spending and government effort. Operation Warp Speed, my dudes. In the United States, there is such a considerable amount of tension of pushing back on the credibility, on the safety, and the efficacy that we in the United States had done it as quickly as the UK did, and that no judgment in the way that the UK did it. There likely would have been pushback. Fauci's words saladed in his apology over the misunderstanding he created by criticizing the United Kingdom's effort to end the pandemic faster. But still wear a mask for the first 100 days if Joe Biden is actually president-elect, and pandemic be here for forever and lockdowns are good. And if you question that, you're against science and just close down your small business. Everybody loves to be on the government tit. Remember that. If you go quickly and you do it superficially, people are not going to want to get vaccinated, Fauci told Fox News. This motherfucker is everywhere. We have a gold standard of regulatory approach with the FDA. Suck a fucking bag of dicks, you dunce. Fauci's history of major errors apparently recommended him, the Democrat team, about to command the White House, apparently. In his CNN interview announcing his intentions to retain Fauci and keep following his advice, Biden told Jake Tapper that he would be willing to take the vaccine publicly as soon as Fauci says it's safe in an effort to boost public confidence. Fuck off. He's just following what I think it's Obama and Clinton are all going to get vaccinated on TV because that's just going to be as wildly popular as Tyson's comeback fight or the fucking match between Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Oh boy. Biden's vice presidential pick, Kamala Harris, said she will wait to get vaccinated until more vulnerable Americans try it first. Not to mention the fact that she said if Donald Trump recommended the vaccine, she wouldn't take it. Fauci has constantly contradicted himself and suppressed expert medical opinions on COVID over the course of the pandemic with the efforts of undermining President Trump while increasing American suffering under lockdowns. Oh, you love to see this. On not the fucking suffering, but his hypocrisy put on blast. On November 30th, reporter Jordan Schachtler, sure, chronicled Fauci's constant lies, hedging, purposeful vagueness, and self-contradictions about the single issue of school shutdowns. This will be good. This may be one COVID issue on which the research is overwhelmingly clear. Children are far safer in school than lockdown at home, half-heartedly doing Zoom school. And by the way, I think like one kid has died from COVID, not just like one kid in the States, like one kid in the entire fucking world. So, yeah. Fauci has only not communicated that message to the anxious public, he has obfuscated on the issue to point of contradicting the truth and thereby helping needlessly harm millions of American kids. And I wish that sentiment would also get echoed up here, because in Alberta, where we have less than a few hundred cases, all the schools are shut down until after fucking Christmas break on like January 11th, I think. Fauci now claims that he has always supported keeping schools open throughout the pandemic. That is false. Thank you for cutting me off at the pass. On March 12th, Schachtel chronicles Fauci called for schools shut down nationwide. On April 13th, he slammed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Good man. Not Fauci, that'd be Ron DeSantis, and he's got a fucking smoking hot wife, for saying he wanted to reopen schools as soon as possible. Yeah, because Florida's done it right. So many active cases. Yeah, shut your fucking mouths. On May 14th, Trump supported reopening schools, which media reported contradicted Fauci's advice. Fauci never ever shut corporate media down for using him as a battering ram against anyone, including tens of thousands of highly credentialed infectious disease experts who pointed out that lockdowns have harm that may rival those caused by the virus. Not only experts, but the World Health Organization that says the economic impact will cause far more deaths than the pandemic ever will. Feel free to fact check that one. And last but not least, Anthony Fauci has shown himself to be a feckless bureaucrat whose ego and cowardice has done more harm than good to the United States and world in a time we desperately need precisely the opposite. It's therefore perfectly fitting that he should join the Biden administration, full of swamp creatures and neo-libs and just about the worst people you can possibly think of, whose motto is nothing if not nobody cares who we hurt, as long as the media won't cover it. But you know what they will cover? What selection Joe Biden is wearing when it comes to socks. And that must be a real dry spell that they're going through right now after he tripped over his fucking dog and broke his ankle. That could be the next president of the United States, people. A frail old man with a graham cracker ankle. Anyways, guys, that is an update. Anthony Fauci is going to be sticking around regardless or not. And if that Texas suit is successful, I can see that fucking withering old corpse just cartwheeling over the White House fence. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo and want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.